Well, we're back here again. This time the sun's out a little bit more. I've calmed down a little bit since my no to Maguire hashtag video, and I still stand by that. No to Harry Maguire. If you ain't watched it, go check it out. Go check it out. It's one of my most recent uploads. You'll probably see the prompt to it at the end of this video as well. Um, and also, please, thanks for subscribing if you're a new subscriber. But from my new and old subscribers, please help in liking this video, sharing this video, spreading the word, and helping me get new subscribers and new um, viewers as well, man. Make a move for. So there was a Telegraph article this morning for James Maddison. It said that Ange Postecoglou has asked Spurs to try and make a move for James Maddison. James Maddison, obviously 26-year-old at Leicester, who were recently relegated from Premier League. The price is set at 50 million. And for those who have been avid watchers of content on my channel, we're back here again. We're back here again a year later because I literally did a video last year around July where I was again asking for the club to sign Maddison, sign him over Zaniolo because I think we were linked to Zaniolo at that point in time. And this time, I'm going to make my asks even stronger. Please bring Maddison to this flipping club. We need James Maddison. We need James Maddison. This guy is a quality player, and he's entering a pivotal period in his career. I understand it with James Maddison. He probably wants to play for a team in Champions League. I know Newcastle are reportedly interested as well. I think Arsenal will retain a small bit of interest, but I think they got their sights set on Declan Rice and Caicedo. So I feel like Newcastle's side, there might potentially be a chance for Spurs to get Maddison. Like people say, oh no, it's not realistic. It's not realistic. I think it is realistic. I think it's realistic. I think if Spurs were to make an offer that Leicester can't refuse and give Maddison wages and the chance to play for a London club, right? The chance to play for a team that want to get back to being a good side and make him one of the marquee pieces, I feel like you can sell a potential project to James Maddison. I mean, let's look at his characteristics, what he would offer Spurs. Spurs don't have playmakers, right? Harry Kane is Tottenham's playmaker. Ivan Perisic, for all intents and purposes, was Tottenham's highest assister last year, but he's not a playmaker. Spurs don't really have midfielders right now, based off last year, who can operate in between the lines, receive the ball on a half turn, constantly find the attackers. Spurs don't have that. Or better yet, we didn't have that last year. We have a midfielder that can do some of these things in Ndombele, who might potentially be given a chance. I did a video on that recently as well, so go check that out. But we don't have someone who specializes in this in the final third. We don't. We don't. And Maddison is someone who can connect the dots, right? If you have midfielders like Benton Core who's very press resistant, protects the ball, can get the ball from our half of the pitch into the opposition half. Basuma, he could do the same. Then you give the ball to the likes of Maddison, right? Playing in those pockets, in those half spaces, in the dangerous moments. Spurs don't have midfielders that thrive in those zones. We don't. We don't. Which is why I want someone like James Maddison. This guy's ability to find a pass is really good. His ability to strike a ball is really good. Can use his left foot, can use his right foot. He's good on set pieces, right? His footwork is really good as well. The guy's just a baller. Fundamentally, he is a baller. Spurs need ballers. He's a baller. Go sign him. What annoys me about this is the move is almost too logical for Tottenham to make it a reality, which is why I'm always going to be concerned that Spurs won't actually do it. But this is an ask. This is an ask of mine. I would love for Tottenham to go out and make a move on James Maddison before it's too late. Make a move on James Maddison. I see that Harvey Barnes is potentially on his way to West Ham. I think that's a fantastic signing for West Ham. I've always liked Harvey Barnes. I think he's a good player, but I feel like Spurs need someone who's a little bit more consistent as their next profile of attacker, especially if Harry Kane leaves, right? But Harvey Barnes is someone I wouldn't even mind at Spurs. Genuinely, I wouldn't, because I think he's a really good player. But we're talking about James Maddison, right? And I understand the concerns around his injuries because he does pick up quite a lot of injuries. I understand some of the concerns about potentially his work rate, but he's a worker, bro. He grafts. I don't think he's a complete slouch in defensive phases. Yes, he may not have P and P, right? You know what I mean by P and P. He may not have P and P, but he works hard. He works hard. I don't think he's that much of a defensive liability. And I feel like, again, if you have the right profile midfielders around James Maddison, like a Basuma, like a Bentancur, right? He can work. He can work. I think he's that profile midfielder that's missing from Tottenham. Spurs need ball players that want the ball constantly, players who thrive with the ball at their feet in danger zones from the opposition's eyes. Spurs don't have midfielders right now who scare the opposition when they have the ball in and around the opposition's box. You think the top teams are going to be scared of Skip in and around their box, right? Even Bentancur, who chipped in with a couple of goals last year. Bentancur's a good player, but he's not a playmaker. He's not a goal scorer, right? He's not someone who consistently threads those balls to the attackers. And you can't say the same for Basuma. And Basuma and Bentancur, they are two best midfielders. They're really good midfielders. In fact, they're probably quality midfielders, but they're quality midfielders for different purposes. In fact, they're very good midfielders, for different purposes to James Maddison. James Maddison is a quality playmaker. He creates a lot of chances for his sides in open play from set pieces, right? And he can score goals, right? We got rid of Christian Eriksen years back, and we've just not replaced him. We've not replaced him. I feel like that ingredient is missing. When I look at Tottenham now, the over reliance on Harry Kane or Kulusevski to be that playmaker is too much. We need to get something from our midfielders as well. And I'm not expecting Maddison to come in and be the sole playmaker of our team, because football really doesn't work like that. You need people creating all around the pitch, right? But at least from the midfield, we'll have something there. 50 million championship, go get James Maddison, please. Go and sign James Maddison. Don't need no ifs or buts. I need absolutes. Go and sign James Maddison. And that's all I have to say on this matter. But people, let me know your thoughts. James Maddison, what do you think coming to Spurs? Do you think it's realistic? Do you feel like he can play a role? I think he can play in the 8, in the 4-3-3. And I also think he can play in the 10, in the 4-2-3-1. But what do you think? Where do you think he would, or better yet, how do you feel like James Maddison would improve Spurs if he was to join Spurs? And what are our chances of actually signing James Maddison this summer? Again, people, share, like, subscribe, turn your post notifications on as well. I'm gonna be doing a stream later on this weekend as well, so look out for that. But until then, take care, peace out, Enoch out.